Why, hello, darlings. This is Work Lena, honey. Multiple hustles, always working round the clock, okay? I am so excited today. Are you? You should be, because who the heck is on my screen right now? Who is it? We all know her. We all love her. It is my girl since the very beginning, Miss Britney Jean Spears. Give it up. All right, folks, listen. This is the expose. I've been a fan of Britney since she. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into all the good things in my experience and just have a good time. Okay, so sit tight. But first, as always, if you're new to my channel, if you're not, you know what's coming. But first, a word. Does it feel like especially in 2025, 2024, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many applications you put in, no matter how hard you're working, no matter how many auditions and interviews you go on, it just seems like you keep eating shit for every single meal of the day, including snacks. Right? It just seems like you can't get anywhere, you can't win for nothing. Right? But, and trust me, I'm going through the same thing. But in this time that we find ourselves in, you gotta build up a thick skin. You gotta you gotta be resilient, relentless, and have an unwavering ambition right now. Because right now it's even tougher to make anything happen, even things you don't even really want, like a 9-to-5 job, than it's ever been before. And unfortunately, the weak will not survive in the current, at least in a place like the divided states of America, in countries that are operating and model themselves after it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we could talk about that in the comment section. But let's get back to, and I wanted to say, don't stop, keep tweaking, strategize. Don't do the same thing over and over if it's not working. Tweak this a little, this here, tweak a little bit of this here, and keep going. But anyway, let's get back to what we're here for, okay? Hello, welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl, the show where I talk about popular music and popular artists from today, yesterday, and beyond, and including now independent recording artists, okay? And I am the independence of the independents. Oh yes, today we are here to talk about the queen, the legend, Miss Britney Spears, honey. Britney Spears, the expose. Now listen, again, if you're new to this channel, you haven't seen an expose from me before, it's not a real expose. It's not a real expose, folks. This is just a way for me to talk about these artists that I love so much, or don't like at all, like that. Okay, and for me to tell you my observations watching these artists for a minute over a course of a few years to more. And I am elated to talk about my girl Britney Spears. Okay, I am the millennial of the millennials, honey. Matter of fact, I am Queen Millennial, honey. Yes, I'm somebody who is literally almost as old as Britney Spears. Christina Aguilera, Lady Gaga, Beyonce. I am the millennial, okay? So, believe it or not. So anyway, this is the expose, so get comfortable, grab some popcorn, go ahead and some Twizzlers, Mike and Ike's, I don't know, popcorn, chips, something. Get comfortable because this is that girl or is not that girl, the expose.
One life, why should you ever have to think twice? Forget your haters, just get your paper. 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 Forget your haters, just get your.
Hello, welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Okay, now I am Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, not the content creator, not the YouTuber, and not the influencer. As I say on all my videos, those are great platforms and tools to build the brand, the reputation, the business, the name, and most importantly, the community. And hopefully you will join the community today by hitting that like button, sharing with other people that you know that like Britney Spears and artists like her, that like artist commentary, music artists, that is, reactions and reviews, because that's what the channel is all about, okay? Subscribe button to become a part of this community, okay? And of course, notification bell for more videos, because I probably do them out every day. I'm in the trenches, y'all, and the algorithm is just truly starting to show me some real love, honey. They see it. I won't take my foot off the algorithm's neck. It sees that I'm serious, okay? Now, with that being said, I did say that I was the artist, right? Did I not say that? I did say that I was the entertainer and the musician. So I'm going to give you a little snippet of a song I did some years ago, honey, okay? A snippet of, what is the song called again? Rising, okay? Then one acapella, rapping. And then I'm going to give you an extra treat and let you hear a snippet of another song that is the actual song, fully done, fully studioed, fully mixed and all that, okay? So here we go, and get ready before we get into Miss Britney, okay? I'm a shameless self-promoter. Get into that. Going up in audition room, heartbeat fast, so it's my turn soon. Judges speaking, they'll say no. Back to the drawing board we go. I would sing every night and day. Vibrant and driving me insane. Determination rides on my success. And there's no way I will ever rest. It was even harder cause I'm gay. Never knew the price they would have to pay. Would never dare to camouflage. Being under fake messed up mirage. Now I'm doing here on my own. Ready to reclaim my golden throne. Boys from around and they say what's up. And on the low do I wanna. Ain't got a time to get no rest. Stand up proving I'm the best. Be working hard just to fill them seats. Go do a show every day, every week. I gotta pat myself on the back. I be saying how I do it like that. Y'all gotta stay after them dreams. And when you hear down, just think of the queen. Now, here's the other song in full. I mean, not full, but here's a segment of the other song. Okay? All right, so this is, to me, I don't care what anybody has to say. To me, this is an award-winning song for so many reasons. Here we go. This is a treat for your ears.
I know you're out there looking for a stress reliever.
You're looking for a stress reliever out there.
Drugs, the alcohol,
here we
the
go.
food. But let me tell you what you need to do. Here we go. Blood pressure. You worked all day like the messenger. Worked so hard that the bills are high. All you do is cry me a freaking try. Watch that clock every freaking day. Still on your money, you got to pay. Fuck that shit, man, you need relief. But you got is free for the fucking cheap. Some take care of the freaking kids. Munching your plate for your freaking lid. Stress too much, always in a rush. You need to brush, you're feeling flush. What is it that you're gonna do? Gonna have some relief in you. Time to get out with the music plays every freaking day. All I gotta say is jump, turn that music loud. I wanna see no hands in the crowd. You gotta get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up. Lose your mind to the beat. Shake it up, keep moving them feet. You gotta get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up. Get the stress.
And that is all I will be giving you, okay? Now listen, are you listening? I know you are. Pay attention. Stop multitasking over there. I see you, Brandon. I see you, Jane. I see you, Ashley, Jared, Jose, Javier, Oscar. I see you. Pay attention right here. Okay, now, if you want to hear, anyway, if you want to hear that song in its entirety, then comment in the comment section. You ready? Let me hear that song. And I most certainly will, absolutely for free. Okay? Now, let's get back into our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so Britney Jean Spears, okay? Excuse me. We gotta turn my picture around. Britney Jean Spears, folks, there we go. Anyway, so Miss Britney Jean Spears, it was 1998, okay? And I was like 13 or so. And I think I was 13, 14, 1998. And we didn't have cable because sometimes my mother could afford cable and sometimes she couldn't afford it. And she was a single mom raising like 3 kids, okay? And so I would sit up in my room, and most of the times I wouldn't go out the house, but sometimes I would. And I had a friend or two, and I would just watch that TV. And we had something, because we didn't have cable at the time, called The Box. Okay, and this was an annoying thing, honestly, because you had to wait for somebody to pay, or yourself to pay for a music video to be played, believe it or not. Oh yes. I don't even know how to get away with that, because they were playing music videos and stuff already on TV networks like MTV. TV networks like MTV, BET, VH1, you know? But I guess when people, for those who couldn't pay for cable, they said that was a perfect audience to exploit. So anyway, what comes on my screen for the first time, I've never seen this artist before. She's a brand new artist. Her first single is Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. And I remember absolutely, after the video played, just being captivated by her. And I had no idea that she was going to last for so many years, because number one, I'm still only 13. And I was the person to go to, even at 13, that knew the behind the scenes of artists, and I would read the credits of the albums, right? I was that person, and I could tell you this and that about the person, or at least I thought I knew. When actually at this point in time, at my age, back then, I didn't really know much of anything. But the peers around me that were around me at the time, all foolish, delusional, came to me for like the entertainment news, because I was live and in person. But anyway, and I wanted that video to play again. Now I didn't have my mother. I didn't work. I was too young. My mother didn't have the money. She was going to pay. She was going to do that. You know, she was a police officer doing her thing, and a taxi cab driver at one point. She would try to have her own business in daycare. Yeah. So anyway, my mother was multifaceted in many ways. So with that being said, we finally get cable back, and she's talking to town, and the video's playing, and then of course we get to the second and third single, and I just had to have that album. I just had to have that album of this girl. There was just something about her, and so my mother bought it for me when albums were still a thing. Was it for my birthday? I don't know. I always convinced my mom some kind of way to buy these albums for me. That she knew that like I wanted to be, first of all, a singer myself. So I obsessed, a singer and entertainer myself. So I obsessed myself with all these artists and media and entertainment. Stuck in my room for hours, just listening to the radio and watching the TV if I wasn't going to school or something, for the most part. And so I got the album, you know, and I kind of wore it out and scratched it up, okay? To the point where I couldn't play it no more. And Britney was just everywhere. The way the media was back then, when it came to covering artists and tabloids and all the bull crap that was out, was a completely different animal. It was a completely different monster than what we have going on today. Okay. I don't know if any of the people who became famous at this time could handle a social media, because not only do you have the critics talking, but also you get to hear the opinions of the average everyday person, like you do today. You know that back then we didn't have a voice. You know, back then, the everyday person didn't have a platform and a mic and just talk freely and whatever and hope that it reached somebody, right? We didn't have that back then. So people would talk amongst themselves about and talk shit on artists, right? Anyway, and you know, in real life, they didn't have this where they could just broadcast it to just anybody around the world who had access to that particular network, social media, who could just see that, and it starts a whole chain reaction if it got popular and viral, enough. With that being said, I stayed a fan. Then she dropped a second album. She's the talk of the town. She's pretty hot. She's popping off, you know. And then so I kept my mom to buy me that second album, right? Mama bought me that second album. Oops, I Did It Again. I remember the iconic video that premiered for the first single of that album, which was "Slave for You." No, not "Slave for You," but "Oops, I Did It Again," which is the name of the album. And to us, and particularly to me, it was iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody to do that whole space thing like that, and the video was incredibly shot. You could tell it was obviously a low budget. Britney was the product of all products, you know, for the music business industry at that time, you know. And so I just wanted you to, because we didn't have control. I think on demand was becoming a thing back then, where you could record, because I used to record things before on demand even became on tapes, video VCR tapes and whatever, you know, or cassette tapes for the radio, right? Or CDs were burning CDs were becoming a thing too. But for me, like for videos, I was recording on VCR tapes, right? But for those of you who are old enough to remember that are not in the generation of Z or whatever who didn't get to experience that. So with that being said, on demand was a thing. So I've used to try to record my favorite music videos, right? On demand, record, and I would record this one and I would watch it over and over and over and over. Okay, because it was just so well done. And the sound, you know, when she first popped out the box, you know, that wasn't a thing before, with just the first single of Baby One More Time. And then everybody who was a pop act, you know, had that sound in different variations. And I remember falling in love with that type of pop music, you know, just the absolute fangirling. And so I remember being in class for the second single for Oops, I Did It Again, right? The second single from that album. I was in class. It was French class. Mind you, I took like 1 year of French or whatever and didn't maintain anything because you got to put stuff into practice to maintain it. So I was in French class and we had this thing where we had a TV and a VCR or something that on a stand rolly kind of thing that we watch videos on. Sometimes in class we would watch a movie, you know. A lot of times, so the teachers would do that on some days, because they just wanted to make it like a day where they felt like we deserved the reward. So we have like candy and popcorn, and the lights were lowered, and there was a movie that would play. Now, this day, I believe they were debuting the Selena video that had came to, because I had never heard, none of us haven't even heard about Selena. We didn't even see, I don't even thought I saw ads about Selena for the movie theater. We had first got to experience Selena, not Gomez, but Selena Quintanilla Perez. You know the Selena, the movie Selena, right? The other Mexican star that died in 1995 by Miss South, you know who she died by, Yolanda. Anyway, so that movie was supposed to play. But before that, a classmate of mine named Storm brings in a VCR tape, and she puts it in, and she's like, "You guys will not believe this." So she presses the play button. Mind you, it is 2000. I think it's 2000 at this point. Yeah, the year 2000. And we were all like 15, 16. And she plays the video, and it's Britney Spears' second single that just came out. And Britney's very, you know, it's a slave for you. And she's on the sexual thing, and everybody's getting hot and heated, and they're doing the whole sexual pants or whatever, you know. And so, and the water's coming down, and everybody's just gasping, you know. But because at this time, stuff like that, especially for like women, were like gassed as, you know. Today it's basically nothing, but back then it was, you know. And so these us millennials were a part of the reason why it is so much more relaxed and free today when it comes to that whole thing, you know. And why you just see a lot of ladies just doing it, and it's like nothing. But Britney Spears is one of those pioneers of that particular thing when it came to like music, you know, in that way, because they really always sold sex appeal, but it was a controlled type of sex appeal. But Britney took it to a new level, you know. But anyway, at that time, and I had got that album as well, but it took me a while to get that album. I don't know why, but then I was a consummate fan. And I stayed, and I didn't, because a lot of times these artists come in and they go out, they come in, they last for an album, they go out, maybe 2 albums go out, and they're shuffled out. Britney Spears is coming back. Then she had the next one with Toxic, and Toxic in my high school became 2004 for my class's graduation anyway, of high school. It became my class's favorite song of my class, Toxic, because the video was iconic by itself, and that probably helped it sold. But that song was the talk of the class as well. So that became my class's 2004, which is the year I graduated. Okay, no, I am not a fossil. No, I am not old. Beesh, I'm a queen. Queen millennial, okay? Get it right. All right. Okay? I can do it better than most of you young ones anyway. Okay? No, don't play with me. Anyway, so with that being said, that was the song, okay? And I got the album and I loved it. And from there, I got every Britney Spears. I swear that every album from Britney Spears was a talk. It was iconic. And she just kept getting better and better. And really, artists like Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, Christina Aguilera and whatever, they were the experimental particular artists when they, not in the music they did, but they were the experiment for the type of pop they were doing. And they really were only said, even by the industry, have a shelf life of like maybe 1 to 2 years, that they were lucky. But Britney Spears surpassed all her counterparts that were there, the Justin Timberlakes. She surpassed them all. And she just kept going and going. And there was nobody of her caliber that just had that long of a career. And not only was her career as long as it was, that kept the interest of people, and the music just kept getting better in the pop, better and better in the pop field. And so we got Give Me More. Okay, it's when she's on the pole stripping or whatever, or enacting it, and the album was just absolutely amazing. She topped herself again, right, with this album. But of course, this was a time also where the industry was taking advantage. I mean, they've been taking advantage for a while. She was the product they've been wanting to use up. She was the product they've been wanting to use up all the way. And none of us had any idea. We were all still bamboozled by the mystique and the glamour of the music industry on the surface level, right? I don't know if I'd known what I had known back then about this industry, I don't think I would have been the same. I will always love my artists. That's why I talk about, so I create a channel about the artists and in multiple facets, because I'm still in love with the music. I'm still in love with the artistry. I'm just not in love with the music industry the way I thought that I knew it, right? And that's why I'm glad we have all this independence today for us to do our thing. But for the people that we fell in love with that came from the industry, because at that time there was independence, but you couldn't be discovered the way you can today if you're lucky. And you were just completely underground with no way to get to the mainstream if that was your goal, unless you got with a label, right? So anyway, then she drops in the midst of all her turmoil and the whole shaving her head and so forth, which was traumatic. And I still don't think at that time that we knew what exactly was happening, right? I don't think that we knew all that was really happening. My guess, because I was 22 or something at the time, 2008, I think this was, or so. when that breakdown was televised with the umbrella and Britney got the car and her head was shaved, and I was just greatly concerned. I didn't know like what was happening, like what were they doing, what was happening to her. Watching, because the paparazzi back then on Britney Spears was crazy. Like there was so many news reports, right? There was so many news reports coming out. Britney this, flashy pictures out of her, constantly taking pictures. And paparazzi were getting paid. The people that worked as paparazzi, you had to be some type of person. You had to be to work that kind of job. And so they would get like thousands of dollars, like a picture, $2,000, $3,000. And Britney Spears was like the highest, I would say, product basically, was the highest celebrity artist, music artist that you can possibly get a picture of for the tabloids to spin their story. And so people were constantly flashing pictures. She couldn't go nowhere. She couldn't go shopping without a paparazzi in the picture. Either they were sneakily doing it or they were in her face and she was trying to get in the car. She could do nothing. People think that they want that. You don't. People think that they want that. You don't want that. If you're trying to do this music thing, you're trying to be this artist, that is tragic. I need to be able to go around relatively normally. That's why I would prefer a more cult type of niche, like smaller audience, and not be known so broadly that I couldn't go anywhere. Not that I want to be recognized a little bit. Yeah, I'm that person. Hey, how you doing? You saw me on YouTube? Yeah. You saw? Okay. You know the song? You know, cute type of a recognition. Not the type. Cute type of recognition. Little to none, right? Not the type that Britney Spears gets. You know, I want to be able to do the thing I love, make the money out of it, and call it a day every day, right? The Britney Spears, when you get that type of fame, and you have that music industry machine behind you, and they're pushing you like that, and you got a brand that people are just eating up like that, and they're pushing you to make every dollar, because you have to be the person that is making money for everybody else's family that is on that team, you know, because the artist has to pay everybody else out before they even see a penny from themselves, you know. And so to really like even profit from being an artist on these labels alone, not even talking about independent, you have to be as big as Britney Spears or close to it to really for it really to truly be worth it, besides of all the things that you get to do. Because many artists at the end of the day of these industries end up bankrupt, owing multiple taxes to the IRS and many other things, to where it becomes a nightmare for them, and it affects them for years and years to come, right? So with that being said, that's on the financial aspect of things. So I would never want to be in a position that Britney Spears, the kind of fame she garnered is in, and not so much for people to conspire, because there's a lot of human animals out there, a lot of human beings out there that are just not good, you know, that will use you up. Her own family, you know, using her up, and that's a shame. You know, before the fame, it was nothing like that. You know, they were a nice family. You know, the father worked, and just a nice country little family from Louisiana. You know, but when the money and the fame got in, they seen how big their daughter was. it's like everybody, including the family, became corrupt, you know? And so Britney Spears didn't really have anybody truly in her corner to protect her. She didn't have people around her that truly had her best interests at heart, not even her family. So like, they tried to make her out to be crazy and put her in conservatorship and take her kids away from her, and her baby daddy was a deadbeat good for nothing. Tried to start a career and get it off the ground, but then was not able to get it off the ground. So, and she kept they kept making her work. So then we get Circus, and I didn't have any idea at the time the depth, because social media wasn't. It was there, but it wasn't like it is now. Because at the time it was 2009. She came out with Circus. I love the first couple of singles. I get the album. It's great. She just keeps taking it to a new level, right? The next album comes out. The Femme Fatale will always be, till this day, right now, the best, in my opinion, Britney Spears album of them all. She took it to the stratosphere with the Femme Fatale. People are still talking about, what is the album with Candy Moore on it? People are still talking about that album. What the heck is the album? The album, Blackout, that's it. How great that album is. And that album's great. It was the best album, in my opinion, at the time, until the Femme Fatale came out, and I don't think y'all get that enough recognition. The Femme Fatale artistically, okay? And I'm speaking strictly from artistic value of the pop world. She took it all the way to the EDM, because EDM was becoming a thing at the time. But, you know, it was a trend for the mainstream, that is. And when she dropped that, baby, it was over. It was the album of the year. She dropped it in my birthday month of March. And I was just hooked from top to bottom. The Femme Fatale, everything. And what was the album after that? It took a while after that for another album to be released, because I don't think there was anything for a nice period of time. But it took some time. I think the next album was Glory. Give me a moment, folks. I got all the computer power and technology in my hands to go ahead and look into this again. Where's my Spotify? Let's get over to Britney. Britney, come on. Because I believe after the Femme Fatale, there was nothing for a while. Let me show them. Oh yeah, I forgot. I lied. I don't know how I forgot, because the song that I play every morning to get me going, because I am working of the workhorse, is Work Beach. In the morning, I put on Work Beach, honey. How many of you want a hot body? You want a Bugatti, a Tesla? You want to be the influencer that you want to be on social media or wherever your goals are. You do have to work beach, but at the right things. Okay? You gotta have strategy when you're working. You gotta work smarter, not harder. Okay? Now with that being said, Britney Jean was after that, okay? And it wasn't even a comparison to, I would say that Britney Jean was Femme Fatale's sister. But Femme Fatale was that girl. While Britney Jean, she was nice, and it was still a listenable record. But I don't know what happened with this record. I mean, this is probably like in the midst really of her conservatorship and all the things that were going on. And I don't know what happened here. I just didn't think they got the best, because it just sounded like it was going for like the generic watered down radio EDM hits. Then when Femme Fatale came in and ate the game up with some of the best producers in electronic dance music you could get. Okay? So that's why Britney Jean pales into comparison when it comes to Femme Fatale. Now, it did take a real longer while after Britney Jean. It was nothing for years, and then in actually no, because this is not accurate. I believe Britney Glory came out in 2000, the original. On Spotify, this is like the 2020 like re-release for like the deluxe album, which I don't know why it took that long. I believe Glory came out in 2016, 17. And then that was it, because this conservative shit was eating Britney up. But the whole time I was invested. I would have music video marathons of just her music videos alone, back to back, a lot of times, because she was just that iconic. The pop brand that she was, the artistry of it, there was nobody to do it like her. no, not quite, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody to quite do it in the way that she had done it. You know what I'm saying? She was a rarity. And that's why they milked her the way they milked her, and they unfortunately used her up. Because let's be honest, we're in such a corrupt system. You know what I'm saying? Do we even know like what we even are and what our purpose is here as human animals? We're living under this crazy system that makes us do things we don't really want to do for something that's fake as money, and we're barely getting anything truly out of it but the small trinkets to get a dopamine hit so that we don't go crazy multiple times a day. Okay. Well, anyway, Britney will always be the icon, the legend, the queen. And even though she's not in the state that we're used to seeing her before, she got out of the conservatorship. Thanks to all you incredible Britney fans rallying, and the judge, the court decision going the way that it went. She's out, but she's not the same as she used to be. They have done many bad things to this woman. Many of the things I can't say on this channel that they make her take. So she's not the same. And she also had this thing in this voice we already know that she was putting on, like it was her voice, and people would mimic this voice she was singing. But Britney Spears actually has, and we heard this before from other people that have covered her. She actually, if you listen to her as a child, like, this girl's giving you full body. Wow. So she really had a voice that was on the level of a Christina Aguilera, when you think about it. And if she had a chance to develop it and work on it and keep going, we would have really seen what she could do. It had more color to it. It had that iconic tone we all know, but it wasn't pulled back and twangy and baby like, oh baby, how was I supposed to know? That, that was a kid. Her voice is basically a caricature that she signed the contract to put on. The whole time, for years. That was a product they were selling. But anyway, that is my observation and verdict on the legendary icon Britney Spears, that has given many of us our lives and continues to give us our lives, snatch our wigs off, blow our backs out, snatch our bodies, and come for our necks time and time again with just the catalog that she's provided alone. And will continue to do it for years to come. The millennials and the generations that discover her will continue to be fed on the work that she's been able to do. But unfortunately, at her untimely demise for what the people in the industry and her own family have done to her, I hope that one day she's able to make a full resurgence and recovery, get back to the mind that we know her for before she gets too old and it's too late to recover, and she's able to escape the industry, do it independently, do it her way, and we just get a Britney Spears that we know and love, but something we've just never seen from her before. We get the real Britney Spears completely this time, that she was with another side of her that she was never able to show. So this was Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, also known as Work Lena, always hustling, getting to the money. Not the influencer, YouTuber, or the content creator. Now, if you like what you heard today and you're a Britney true fan, excuse me, hit the like button. Share with people that you know like Britney Spears. Share with people you know that like artists, music artists, commentary, reviews, reactions, and of course, subscribe to become a part of this community. And of course, notification bell for more. Well, folks, I'll see you later. Watch the playlist here for this current season. And of course, we have the recent episode of this channel that has been, it's up here somewhere. Bye-bye. I look forward to hearing you in the comment section. What do you love about Britney Spears? Whatever you want to say about Britney Spears, if you're a fan, go ahead. I want to hear from you. Okay? Bye-bye.
One life, why should you ever have to think twice? Forget your haters, just get your paper. 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 Forget your haters, just get your